Welcome back, Whaler Sham, to another bowling vlog. This one's going to be a little bit different, as unfortunately, when I got back from League, from the Wednesday video that I just posted not too long ago, I ended up getting ill. So basically, like the stuffy nose, cough. Well, not really much of a cough at the time, but um, yeah. So basically, this is the series that's going to be a little. You'll. I was playing through, so. The main goal though is we're gonna try to get through it. We're gonna try to put good games together. That's gonna be the goal. It does suck because randomly getting sick in the summer is not really ideal, but that's kind of what we were going through. I'll talk a little bit more about what I'm thinking in between games and stuff like that today, so um, you guys get an idea of like what exactly I was facing from frame to frame or whatever it ends up being. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in between games and stuff. But luckily, there's teammates that can help pick you up, and you'll see a couple examples of that throughout this video today on the channel. It is week 4 of TGIF Summer Bowling. Sit back and enjoy, and we are off to game 1. Alrighty, well, our first game isn't going very well at all. Pretty much all but one frame is left open. Although, obviously, with me being sick in this series, this is probably the one series coming, or the video anyway, that I was the most ill in. But, regardless, obviously, I feel a little bit slower on release, so things are like feeling weirder than normal, only because of me feeling ill and not at my normal self. So obviously trying to get by isn't working at this exact moment in the series. But yeah, although obviously first ball out of the bag being the vibe this time probably wasn't my greatest idea. But although, even though I went back to Rhino for a bit there, it didn't really work out. This white dot's going to polish that leave, though, for a spare. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, this will probably be one of the biggest low points of the summer season right here, only because of me being ill and stuff. So this will probably be the worst type bowl period. Hoping that I don't make it look any worse than what it is. Sarah's gonna strike out here in her 10th frame. She actually did a good job of keeping this game close. Ironically, I didn't expect it to be that close after I pretty much like dumped the whole game based on how bad I played, but it ended up working out okay where we were close. So for me here, a couple of clean frames going into the 10th frame here. We leave 9, or well, we knock down 9, I should say, not really leave, but we do take the spare there and get a fill ball here. I decided to throw my spare ball here just for the hell of it, because why not? It was a funny idea at first, but I ended up taking 9 pins with just the spare ball by itself. It doesn't seem like a bad idea to shoot at it with the spare ball every now and again, especially when uh, things are kind of low stakes where we may not win the game, but at least just throw it to get out of the frame. Sadly, my dad's going to leave this split here, which puts a bigger stain or strain on things. But anyhow, we will go on to lose this match, and this is arguably my worst game in summer yet, but under the circumstances, it is what it is. It's part of the whole journey of bowling, if you will. But good news is we still got 2 games for me to start getting back to some sort of a norm and to try and finish with a 500 series, which it can certainly still be there, but we gotta do a lot more now because of the 131 score. So we gotta have 2 really solid games if we want to get to 500. You'll find out how that progress goes right now. Alrighty, so this game's a lot better so far. The only open we have at this exact moment was the 7-10 split in the third frame, which was unfortunate, but is what it is. We do double at one point now, so now we have a little bit more life in the series, but we also have to have a good game, so that's what's more important here. I think I'm a bit better dialed in, I would say, to describe this game, a bit more dialed in on trying to keep things from not opening. So we do a good job trying to avoid it, but obviously by this point in the video, there's two opens in game two so far. But we could still make that 180 average with no problem, luckily. So Sarah's gonna wrap up here in the 10th frame there. Pretty solid game. We do end up already having the win after this ball right here, which is another strike for me. Huge strike for me, by the way. Might I also add. On this throw, we leave a 7 pin, but nonetheless, we're going to come home with more than 180 pins in a game. It's kind of crazy how I can go from a 131 to a 189 real quick, but at least it's in a way where we're actually a bit better off. So, with that said, my dad's just going to wrap up. These are just his last throws he had. We already won this game by a good bit, so that's the good news, but because our first game being a close loss and this one being a bigger win, this will help our case for trying to win later on in the evening. So you'll just have to find out how we do in game 3 though. But nonetheless, we just need one more game exactly like this and we should be able to just barely hold on for another 500 series. I would prefer to stay above 500, but since we're ill, we'll just take what we can, regardless of whatever happens in this game 3 that you guys are going to see right now. See you there. Alrighty, well, we're keeping things good here in game three as well. We only open in the second frame off of something really, really weird, I guess, of a leave. I don't usually see it often, but we usually convert it. We just didn't that time. So if that's our only open, other than that, though, we keep as clean as possible to give ourselves a chance at a really solid end game, and that's what we're gonna do basically here. So just keep things clean. Last spare of the night right here goes up. It's gonna take it. This matchup though is still very close to the end, as it's literally by single digit pins at this point, the margin. I'll give my dad a little bit of a cushion here going into his throws. So the match is currently us down 7 pins going into my dad's first throw. So to put the pressure on here to force the other team to strike, he'll do just that. That's 20 pins back to us, and now we take the lead once again. A little bit more pressure here. Has to strike, and it does. Now, the only downside here is the other team obviously has the leave on the left side that you're seeing right now. So because there's pins left, that throw that just struck by my dad will take this game as it is. So all my dad can really do here is just throw another ball of his choice, and whatever he knocks down is what he knocks down. We will come away with game three as well, so that means we are going to take total as well. So it's a 7 out of 2, or 7 out of 9, I should say, evening, with us only losing the first game. And if I was slightly better in game one, we probably could have swept, but this is the flu game for me, so it's kind of like Michael Jordan's flu game. It's the same concept. But either way, we managed to overcome some of the issues we had, and more importantly, we walk away 7-2. Our record is going to improve to 16-20. So we're starting to get right back in the right direction. Sadly for me though, in the individual department, I do finish 54 pins below average, but I feel like that's kind of normal when you're ill, that you're going to bowl below your average regardless. So give or take, this is still actually pretty good. And we just barely kept our 500 pin streak alive. So yeah, we luck out pretty good. So when you look at all the numbers, the breakdown is below. I also put my third game result on this screen because I didn't really get to show it much with my dad closing out game three. So there's that. So after this, we head to a tournament, Traveling Turtles. That means we travel. We aren't going to be bowling at this bowling center. We are going to Dunedin, Florida. I already filmed it though, so that's why I just told you where I bowled. But that video will be coming up at a later date, and I'll talk more about that in another video of when I'm actually going to release it. It's going to take me a little bit longer because obviously I was ill, gave myself some time away from editing, all that good stuff. So it'll come out, just give it time. But the next video after this Friday one will be Monday Night Trios Week 3. The schedule had to be reset, so we're going to play the same opponents we did in Week 1, so we'll see how we do there. And it's just another day in the bowling alley coming up. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you like the video. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care.